Priyanka Srinivasan presenting you your messy minds. Okay, so in the previous video, I would have told you like the brief of what we are going to see in the future episodes. Now in this video, I'll be talking about the multiple births. This actually comes under the fertilization, which is the first stage of a lifespan of an individual. Now, when I say fertilization, it is basically the fusion of the male gamete, sperm, and the female gamete, ovum, together to form the new cell called the zygote. Now, this zygote actually divides into multiple number of cells until its embryonic stage. Now, we have already talked about this fertilization. So, now in this video, we will be talking about the multiple births. And when I say multiple births, I will be covering on the possibilities for having this multiple births and the reasons and risks, and also how to overcome these risks and all these. Now coming to the first thing, that is the possibilities. There are two possibilities for having this multiple birth. Now the first possibility is that there is two ovum where two sperm will come and fuse with these two ovum and form two different zygotes. Now these two different zygotes will develop into two different fetuses inside the uterus. Now this condition is actually known to be the dizygotic, that is two zygotes, dizygotic, and the twins are actually known to be the fraternal twins. When we compare these fraternal twins, they will be having lots of differences in them. Like if you see, their jawline can be different, or for example their teeth patterns can be different, and there are a lot more differences in them. They are not going to be similar. Now coming to the second possibility, that is, there will be one ovum and the one sperm comes and fuses with it to form this single zygote. But later what happens is, this single zygote divides equally into two different halves and they will be developing into two different babies. Now if you see, this condition is known to be the monozygotic twins. Why it is monozygotic is because initially it forms only one zygote, that is monozygote, and later on it is going to divide and form two different zygotes. And the twins are actually known to be the identical twins. So when we actually compare these two identical twins, they will be having lots of similarities and characteristics in them. And it is little surprising and confusing also sometimes, like who is who when they develop into little adult ones. Now coming to the possibilities, as I told you, there are two possibilities. That is, the first possibility is two ovum, two sperm fusing together to form two different zygotes, and the second possibility is that one ovum, one sperm fusing and forming one zygote, which later divides into two different zygotes. And there we move on to the next one, that is the reasons behind having these multiple births. So the first reason is that delayed childbearing. Like for example, if the female is about 35 years old, then if she is going to conceive a baby, then there are more chances that there can be this multiple births. And the second reason is that for example, for a couple is not having a baby and they are going to this fertility center for consultation. So these fertility centers, what they do is they'll be prescribing these fertility drugs to the people. So this actually stimulates the ovulation in the female body, as a result of which multiple number of ovums will be produced at the same time. So this could be the possible reason why there is this dizygotic twins condition, which I told you as a possibility in the starting. Now there is this other kind of possibility, the reason, that is in vitro fertilization. So in this in vitro fertilization, the fertilization does not occur like the normal fertilization. In fact, the sperm and ovum will be inserted into the uterus individually and the fertilization happens there. So if you want, I can just go to an example, like most of you would have seen Friends series, right? So in that there is this character Phoebe who actually kind of conceives for her own brother Frank and Alice. Now since Alice is kind of little older age, like about 35 years, and her uterus lining will be very thin, so she'll not be able to conceive. So for that matter, they'll ask Phoebe to conceive their baby. So she actually gives birth to triplets. So if you all want, I have just added those link in the description, so you all can check them there. Now coming to the risks. So when I say risks, it actually means like what are the difficulties in having this multiple births. So the first risk is that there is this pregnancy complications. Like if you see, the delivery will not be normal, like they have to do the C-section delivery, like doctors have to come and operate in order to take out the babies from the uterus and all that. Now coming to the next risk, it can be like kind of having a low birth weight, or the baby can even actually die sometimes, or there can be possibilities of stillbirth where the baby will be dead inside the uterus and before even delivery. And there is one more complication, that is the prematurely delivering baby. So when the baby is prematurely delivered, not all their body parts will be in the optimum conditions, like they will not be developed to the utmost conditions that has to be developed. And one such condition is anencephaly, where the brain is not actually fully developed, or sometimes it is going to be completely absent. And along with this anencephaly, they can actually have these internal organs that are underdeveloped. So these are the kind of other problems or risks in this multiple birth. Now, for example, let's consider there is this couple who actually have married and are not conceiving child until 5 years after their marriage. So they actually are going to these fertility centers and they are trying to conceive a baby. So what happens is, in case if the baby is not a normal kid, and if they are specially aided, and for example, let's say it is anencephaly. So in that case, the baby will be anencephalic and will not live longer and it dies. So this couple actually develop this kind of fear inside them that in case if they are giving birth to the second child, then they will also develop the kind of same genetic defects or hereditary illness or something like that. So the couples like them can actually go to the genetic counseling. So other than these couples, who all can go is that the parents who are actually giving birth to people who are having the chromosomal abnormalities like Down syndrome, Turner syndrome and all, and people will be given guidance from the genetic counseling, like how they have to take care of these specially aided children, or how to overcome these risks, or they'll be actually guided and assisted in order to prevent these risks that are going to take place as a consequence of giving birth to such children. So genetic counseling is actually a growing field nowadays because of our food habits and all that, bearing a child has become even more difficult, and so the parents are actually developing lots of fear, anxiety and stress and all these things. So genetic counselors actually help the couples, and they'll try to build a strong mentality in them. So there we come to the end of this video, and in the next video I'll be talking about the paternal and maternal factors that could influence the fetus in the uterus, and we'll also see about some monitoring care that has to be given to the uterus. And until then, it's bye from Priyanka. Bye.